Shalom. First thing and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that is due to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim HaKakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. News in this gospel abroad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is another lesson through the Spirit. I came across this article, which was published Tuesday, February 4th, which was actually last week. And it says here, Department of Justice launches task force to fight anti-S. Now, we've been saying for some time here that they was going to come up with ways and methods to target this truth. And if you notice, anybody that speaks out against the small hats or Amalek, they're labeled anti-S. Okay? You got a chick by the name of Candace Owens. She's been going in on them small hats, man, for some time. And they are calling, this was a little while ago, but they were basically calling Candace Owens an anti-Semite, which, how can somebody be anti just because they speaking out against facts and truths that the narrative that has been pushed by mainstream media, which are false narratives, by the way. How can you call somebody anti-S for speaking out against injustice that's being done to people in the world? Okay, that whole October 7th ordeal back in 2023. They've been in war for over a year now. But the point about it is that when that information came out that the small hats was the aggressor behind the attacks, now anybody that speaks on these particular ordeals are labeled anti-S, which that's folly, because this particular term was created for the sole purpose of giving those people immunity and flushing everybody else out. So the minute you call a demon out, like they've gotten these, I believe it was last year, matter of fact, the beginning of last year, when those small hats was digging holes and tunnels, and they was coming up out of tunnels and they was running out of the holes and shit like rats, like the rats that they are. They was calling people anti-S for that, but yet you're blatantly on camera committing all types of atrocities and wickedness. But yet, anybody that comes against you is later anti-S-site. Which this is just a made-up term, because there's no such thing as Semitic, but it's Shemitic. But they know the average person don't know that, because the average person is ignorant when it comes to the meaning of words. So they play on people's emotions and freedoms based on this word here, when this is not even a real word. This is created. Okay, if they wanted to be more accurate, they would say Shemite, because Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Okay, which we come out of Shem. They come out of Shem as well, but they come out of the loins of Esau. Okay, Abraham, Isaac, and Esau, because remember, Isaac had Jacob and Esau as 2 sons, right? Okay, and we come forth out of Jacob. They come forth out of Esau. So they've created this term to spin narratives around a particular political thing, So anybody that comes against them, they will be reprimanded. All right. So here, man, it says, despite the counter or the concerted effort to root out systems that have ingrained cultural Marxism in institutions of governments, like critical race theory, which, it's a theory, is a critical race fact, but they're trying to erase the tenets of history to hide their bloody nature. Okay, because they don't want the world to know the type of history they brought forth to conquer the world. But everybody knows it, man, because the truth is out. And Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, like the scriptures say, that would be shameful spewing upon thy glory. So no matter what you attempt to erase, you're already exposed, man. All right. But it says here, the DEI and pro-LGBT agendas, the White House has continued to commit itself to fighting against one form of institutionalized injustice. But it says, last week, Donald Trump signed an executive order titled Additional Measures to Combat Anti-S, in effort to quell against increasing organizations of protests across the country against the state of Israel. So basically, he's giving them a pass. Okay, he's coming against anybody that speaks out against this people, whether it be truth or speculation or no matter what. You can't speak out against them. And a celebrity made a very important statement years ago. They said, if you want to know who runs the world, just see who you can't talk about. which proves that these small hats run the world, and they're in no type of trouble whatsoever. So how can they be of the loins of Jacob if these people run the world and they literally have the world in the grip of their hand? They control the laws, they control the institutions, they set up governments, they finance the world. So how are they or any need of deliverance if they're the children of Israel? But see, they're trying to stop this truth, and that's the reason why this is a thing now. Because in one method, Donald Trump stating that he's not going to discriminate and he's not going to take away people's First Amendment rights, let them freely speak on what they want, right? Meaning that if you speak out against anything, there's no repercussions for it. But yet, how the hell these people are getting a pass here when in fact that the Constitution is supposed to justify the American citizens, but you're talking about the state of Israel, man. Okay, that's some high-level wickedness. But it's all in tandem to stop us from talking, because eventually they're going to say what we say, even though they call us anti-us anyway. They already label us this, which we can't be anti because we are actually out of the loins of Shem. But it's so funny, though, how they're going to use this to try to shut down the truth, man, and to try to comfort brothers. This is why we believe that we're not going to be on those streets too much longer, because eventually when this thing goes into full effect, hey, they're just coming round you up, man. Okay? The FBI, they got dossiers on everybody. They know who's been out there speaking on the streets. They know who's been putting out shows, bro. They can, any day now, they can dispatch a task force to try to lock you up and say, well, you've been speaking ill against these people, which is all bullshit, man. Okay, these people are inherently wicked and they're evil. And it don't matter what you do, Esau. At the end of the day, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai will vindicate us. Okay, we don't give a damn about your Department of Justice trying to put anything on us, because we know what's up already. You know, so I mean, you're not a threat, bro. All right, even though you know you're gonna come with your military, with your aggression, you're not a threat, because we got the Heavenly Father that's gonna fight for us, because He knows truth. Okay, you're the devil. You know, but it says here the following execution of that directive is that the Trump administration has amplified its initiative by tasking the Department of Justice with organizing a task force specifically designed to combat anti-S it sees as a dire threat sweeping over the nations. And that's the reason why, because its devil is being exposed. So now it's a threat. Okay, when this man has been nothing but the cancer of the entire goddamn planet, man. But yet, all of a sudden, now, speaking against these people, now that's a threat. No, man. All right. Look at this. On college campuses. It says, like Trump's executive order, the impetus behind an immediate focus on the DOJ anti-S task force is the wave of protests and organizations of causes against Israel that have galvanized across college campuses worldwide since last spring. But wait a minute, man. The Arabs or the Palestinians, they're Shemitic too, because they come out of the tents of Abraham as well. Okay, remember, Abraham had a son, Ishmael, which was Isaac's older brother. Okay, Ishmael. So even going into Elam, Elam and what's the other? You got Ishmael, you got Elam. Okay, you got the Syrians. Those are considered Shemitic Hebrews as well. So how can they be anti-S when they're just protesting the hatred that you've shown their people? Which we don't side with neither sides of it, because both the sides are heathens. But regardless of it, that's the pot calling the kettle black, man. Because let's just say if they was to do a protest against Ishmael or Elam or us, let's say, would there be any repercussions for these people? Fuck no. It's a double turn. It's a double standard. But it says Leo Terrell, the head of the newly formed task force, put forth its cause in plain terms, stating the department takes seriously our responsibilities to eradicate this hatred wherever it is found. It says the task force to combat anti-S is the first step in giving life to President Trump's renewed commitment to ending the anti-S in our schools. But in order to achieve that goal, Trump administration officials have laid a path forward in which they will seek to void the visas of students who have been deemed to engage in anti-S acts in order to deport them. That's wicked, though. You know what I'm saying? Because it's because you protesting what a group of demons are doing to your people. Now all of a sudden you have to be put under an umbrella as labeled being that when you're just protesting, when that was, you know, your right to do so. But this man is but you see how wicked this man is? But yet this man is able to go around the world and set up military bases in foreign lands, and nobody can contest him out though. But when it comes to these people, then all of a sudden we have to turn a blind eye to the wickedness that they've done. Hell nah, man. The Lord is getting ready to destroy you people. All right, so let's get a couple of precepts real quick, man, because, you know, this ain't the first time that they came with these preventative measures to round up the men of the Lord. Because when you go into here, Acts 18th chapter, it says here, and after these things, Paul departed from Athens and came to Corinth and found a certain Jew named Aquila, born in Pontus, lately come from Italy, and his wife Priscilla, because that Claudius had commanded all Jews to depart from Rome, and came unto him. Okay, so that's the point. Because we was out there, we was speaking the word. Okay, you had what they call aggressive street preaching, and this is what they equate the Israelites to. You know, us going out there because we use a couple of cuss words, and you know, we come from a more stern approach, I would say a more austere approach. That's a threat to them, man, because that's power. Okay, all the time we're looked at as being combative because they say that we're militant because how forward we are, you know. But yet we're not out there inciting riots and starting fights with people. We're just out there speaking the words of the Heavenly Father, and then just depending on how fervent the spirit get, yeah, we may cuss. Like a demon came up to the camp Saturday and he got cussed out because he was being a fucking devil. You know what I'm saying? But how is that any threat when that's part of our, you know, our First Amendment rights? Okay, them small hats, they speaking out against them should not be excluded. You know what I'm saying? That shouldn't, oh, well, you can say what you want to say, but when it comes to these fucking people, all of a sudden, nah, you can't say that. And the world rising up against you, man. Okay, eventually the world is going to rise up against you, and they're already rising up against you, man. Because people are tired of you Edomites, man. They're tired of you. They're sick and tired of you, man. And they're really talking about the so-called J. Okay, people are really sick of those people because they understand that they're nothing but a blot and a stain in progress, man. And people are literally dying behind the policies of the J's, man. And people are tired of it. But it says here, and because he was of the same craft, he abode with them and wrote. For by their it says, by their occupation they were tent makers. But as he reasoned in the synagogues every Sabbath and persuaded the Jews and the Greeks, and when Silas and Timotheus were come from Macedonia, Paul was pressed in the spirit, and it testified to the Jews that Yahushua was the anointed. And when they opposed themselves and blasphemed, he shook his raiment and said unto them, your blood be upon your own heads. I am clean, I am henceforth, and I will go into the Gentiles. Because them niggas didn't want to accept it, man. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, you know what? The blood is off my hands. It is what it is. And this is what we do on the streets. Okay? And this is why we go out to the streets, man. Ultimately, to wake our people up. And that's a threat to Esau because he knows that he does not fit the bill of token when it comes to who are the children of Israel. Okay, you guys always going into all the 12 tribes. You always going to Yehudi and Levi. But where are the other 10 or 11 tribes at, man? The other 10 tribes at, man? Okay, you never mention anything about Issachar, Naphtali. Where are your tribes at, man? And then when you look at them and they give some type of generic breakdown on who the other tribes is, they all fucking Edomites, bro. Like, hell nah, man. You people don't fit the bill. And this is the reason why they're using this whole this whole campus rally shit to try to come up against us, because eventually this is going to come full circle. Okay, we tell people all the time, when you're witnessing these world events and shit happening, there are distractions to create to cause a bigger stir. You know, like the whole title, what is it, 42 of allowing the whole border crisis, all that shit was done just so they could be justified on locking up the tribes, man. Okay, so they set a whole movement around that, a whole outcry, people, houses getting broken into, you know, people allegedly getting robbed, just to be justified on saying, you know what, the country won't bring them back, let's put them in these camps, man. And this is what the hell these devils do, man. It's called, not Hegelian dialectics, but it's like a particular formula that they use, man. Okay, and Esau believes in something which is called scorched earth or collateral damage, when he will be justified on wiping out billions of people just to get a particular group of people. And this is what he's doing. He's playing on the minds of the people. So therefore, people will start pointing the finger at us and saying, you know what, these ninjas are the problem, but yet you got planes falling out the sky, which are, that's a psyop. Okay, you got fucking DI, you got terrorists being put on these other countries. Okay, you got all types of stuff happening in the world. World War III, you know, you got fighting within the Republican Party. They even against this dude Trump now. But yet, somehow, somewhere, guys with a group of garments that go out to the streets and just to talk to people every week in, week out has become the problem, you know? And we get it, you know, we have to be persecuted, just like Yahweh Shai was numbered among the transgressors, man. But it says here, and he says, and he departed thence and entered to a certain man's house named Justice, one that worshiped Yahweh, whose house joined hard to the synagogue. Hold on, man. I was looking for... Okay, this was good, but it was another one I was looking for. I think this is Acts 17. Hold on, let me see something. I always get it mixed up. Yep, bingo, here. Acts 17. And I'm going to start at verses 4. But it says, but the Jews which believed not moved with envy and took unto them certain lewd fellows of baser sort and gathered a company and set the city in an uproar and assaulted the house of Jason and sought to bring them out to the people, man. And when they found them not, they drew Jason and certain brethren unto the rulers of the city, crying that these have turned the world upside down and are come hither also. But whom Jason had received, and these do contrary to the decrees of Caesar, saying that there's another king, one Yahweh Shai. And they troubled the people and the rulers of that city when they heard these things. And when they had taken security of Jason and of the other, they let them go. But you see, it troubled the rulers of the city because of the preaching, man. And we were teaching Yahweh Shai. So they used niggas to try to go and incite riots and to cause a stir and friction just to be justified on grabbing the men of the Lord up, man. And this is why you wouldn't be surprised when you see Sakari at a goddamn protest somewhere, man. You know, like it was a video that came out last week. I believe it was out there in L.A. and you had the migrants protesting ICE. And then I believe you had like 3 or 4 Sakari members. And coincidentally, he had a gun on his hip. And, you know, they're just out there, man, you know, just being stupid, man. You know, and they'll use shit like that and say, see, we told you that these Israelites were in behind this, man. You know, same thing when the whole October 7th ordeal kicked off. You had Israelite camps that was going down to them protests, which they're landing in that anti-S now, getting into it with other groups and stuff like that, man. You know, now they already got it on record. It's already on docket. So it's not wise to be in these particular protests, man, because they're going to try to label us up anyway. Like I was looking at this post, and matter of fact, I may just do another lesson on it, man. I may just do a lesson on it. But it's a post that I got. It was maybe like 3 weeks ago when they arrested that Jake dude, basically stating some shit about Trump online, and they came and arrested him. But it was a post that went around, and it was a falsified post. It was all cap, but they were saying that he was a murderer. He was walking in people's houses and kidnapping kids. So it was easy for a Facebook post to spread a false narrative, man. You see, like I said, Jake is the new face of terror, man. And there's no coincidence why you have these protesters with these migrants, and now all of a sudden, you know, these so-called black men going back into that guy that ran those people up down in on, what was it, Bourbon Street or some shit, if I'm not mistaken, when they ran those people over, you know. But when you pay attention to him, he sounds like a Jake, and he kind of looks like one, even though I don't believe he was, but he sounds like one. And just looking at him, you wouldn't be able to tell what he was, you know, if they make any sense. But see, now they're getting ready to make us the face of terror. You know, so brothers out there, be circumspect, okay? Because Esau's doing a lot of underhanded shit. He's being exposed, all right? Matter of fact, let's go from here to the book of Obadiah 1, verses 7. Matter of fact, let's start at verses 6. It says, how are the things of Esau searched out? How is his hidden things sought up? Yeah, he's being exposed, man. Okay, the Lord is shedding the light on his ass. So now he's getting ready to retaliate against us, man. Because this is his final hoorah as to finally doing away with us, but he don't understand that Yahweh Shai is going to come and raise up a standard. So yeah, brothers, man, expect You know, hey, we not gonna be out there too much longer, to say the least. You know, because like I said, this thing is gonna come full circle, and he's deploying a task force to investigate and see what's going on. Then they already know who's who. Okay, that's one thing about Esau. He already has the dossier on everybody, so it ain't a matter of investigating. It's just a matter of him sending these people to us eventually. Okay, because they will come. Eventually, they will come. All right. This is Isaiah 29:21. And it reads here, it says, they make a man an offender for a word that lay a snare for him. And what's a snare? A snare is a trap. Okay, like they come up with all these movements and political movements just to set a trap, just to catch Jake, man. Okay, this man is the devil. He's deceitful. And it says here, a snare for him that reprove and negate and turn aside the just thing for a thing of naught. Yeah. You know, all them Hebrew, them black Hebrew Israelites. And you got to watch a group that call themselves black Hebrew Israelites, man, because if somebody's using black in their title, then 9 times out of 10, they are agents. Okay. Like, we don't call ourselves black Hebrew Israelites. Okay. That word term black, which I was looking up the Black Laws Dictionary, which means dead, or which means insignificant in the ways of the law. So basically, when the task force rolls on black Hebrew Israelites, basically we're a dead entity to them, and basically we have no rights under that term black. While you niggas are calling yourselves black people. Oh yeah, I'm a black person. Okay. Keep calling yourself that. That's why you have no fucking rights. But it says here, it says this strategy has been met with criticism of how it presents a constitutional issue on the infringement of free speech and the assembly guaranteed under the First Amendment, like I was saying earlier. It says, which the United States Supreme Court has recognized as being extended to non-residents, aliens under the 14th Amendment for nearly 150 years. It says here, it says the Trump administration focuses on confronting anti-S comes at a time where programs aimed to address the systematic oppression of the other minority groups have been stripped away. But in light of development, the newly created DOJ task force and underlying executive order that will enable it begs the question about why allocating resources specifically to combat anti-S is the exception to the rule the Trump administration has made. But it says, but when it comes to disempowering widespread systems, indoctrinating students with victim mentalities and a false dichotomy rooted in far-left ideologies on racism that have been categorized as anti-white or divisive as a whole, but replacing those vesties on the Biden administration with a different ideology that gives exclusive protection to one marginalized group instead of a plethora of them is just a different expression of problematic dynamic that Trump administration has admitted has frayed the cultural unity of the country with its criticisms of DEI. So basically, eventually people are going to rise up against this. Okay, and I'm not going to read all this. This is pretty long, you know, but at the end of the day, this eventually there will be some kickback on this. People ain't gonna really go for this, man. All right, hold on.
You want a beeper? No. Have a beeper for you. Somebody wants a beeper? Have a beeper for you. You have a beeper? I have a beeper for you, sir. Here. Would you like a beeper? Have a beeper for you. Now, why are you running away? Have a beeper for you. You're covering your face. Here. Have a beeper for you. Why are you covering your face?
Security.
Have a beeper for you. Here's a beeper. Why you don't have? Here's a beeper for you. Here's a beeper for you. Don't touch me when you actually. Don't touch me, sir.
You're on private property. Get out. I'm asking you to leave the building.
You have a beeper, sir.
I'm asking you to leave the building.
Hands on me. You know you could.
Yeah, that's wild, man. You know, but hey, that's what it's coming down to. Let's go here. Revelation 12:12. And it says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down on you having great wrath, because he knoweth he have but a short time. So this is all part of Esau's great wrath, man. He's getting ready to lose it because he's losing it. Okay, they know that they don't fit the bill of prophecy in the Bible. Their own scholars and came out and admitted it. And the funny part about it is that their own rabbis even say that the so-called white people in America are Esau. but yet they themselves are of Esau, the house of Edom as well. So I mean, you know, that's basically that's a looking glass. But second Ezra 16, and I'm gonna start at verses 70. It says, "For there should be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord." Yeah, a great insurrection. So we're seeing that with the start of these protests of ICE. You know, they can blatantly discriminate against the Northern Kingdom, but yet when anybody comes against the Edomite counterpart, there's a problem. Okay, that's a form of anti-S. What you're doing to the Venezuelans and the so-called Mexicans, the Northern tribe, that's anti-S. You know. But it says here, "For they should be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. And they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they should be tried as gold in the fire," man. All right. So, hey, brothers, man, just, you know, keep your head on the spiritual swivel. Pay attention to anything that looks awkward or off, you know, and be circumspect. We're in them times. And with that, shalom.